Hi, I'm Ethan Walsh. I'm 30 years old and a software engineer living in Seattle. Life has been pretty amazing for me. I've got a great job, awesome friends, and the best girlfriend ever, Melissa Pearson. We've been together for 3 years, and it's been incredible. Melissa's a marketing exec, full of energy and always ready for a new adventure. We hit it off right away because we both love obscure indie bands and hidden sushi spots. Our weekends are packed with fun, hiking, game nights with friends, and binge-watching Netflix. She always teases me about my terrible jokes. "Ethan, you're such a dork," she'd say with a laugh, playfully shoving me, but then she'd kiss me, so I knew she secretly liked it. My best friend Jack has been my wingman since college, and he's a big fan of Melissa. "Dude, she's a keeper, don't mess this up," he'd tell me over beers. My little sister Emma adores her too. "Can we go shopping with Melissa this weekend? She always knows the coolest places." Our families got along perfectly as well. I still remember Melissa's first Thanksgiving with us. My mom pulled me aside and whispered, "She's the one, honey, I can feel it." We had our little routines, morning jogs by the waterfront, Sunday brunch at our favorite cafe, and monthly game nights with friends. Melissa always wanted to be my partner for charades. We're unstoppable, she'd cheer after every win. Then came the big moment. Melissa planned a cozy weekend getaway to a cabin in the mountains, just the two of us. We spent the days hiking and the nights stargazing by the fire. On the last night, she suddenly got serious. "Ethan," she said, "these past 3 years have been the best of my life." Before I knew it, she was down on one knee, holding out a ring. "Will you marry me?" I was stunned, completely speechless, but as I looked into her eyes, I knew my answer. Yes, yes, 1,000 times yes. The rest of the night was a blur, champagne, happy tears, and excited phone calls to our families. Jack's reaction was classic. "It's about time. I was starting to think I'd have to propose to you myself." Emma screamed so loud I thought my eardrums would burst. "I'm going to have the best sister-in-law ever." When we got back to Seattle, it felt like a whirlwind of congratulations and wedding planning. Life was perfect, and I couldn't wait for what came next. My mom immediately started talking about wedding venues, and Melissa's parents insisted on throwing us an engagement party. "I can't believe this is happening," I said to Melissa one night as we lay in bed scrolling through honeymoon destinations. She snuggled closer, her engagement ring shining softly in the low light. "Believe it, babe, this is just the beginning of our happily ever after." But little did I know, things were about to change in ways I never saw coming. At first, wedding planning was fun. We were laughing about cheesy songs and picking out flowers. But then, it was like Melissa flipped a switch. Suddenly, she was criticizing everything I did. "Ethan, why are you still friends with Ryan from college? He's such a bad influence." "Come on, Mel, Ryan's been my buddy forever, he's harmless." "Harmless? He's single and always dragging you to bars. It's time to grow up." It wasn't just Ryan. Melissa started picking at my job, my clothes, even how I spent my free time. Things really exploded one night while we were working on the guest list. "Your cousin Mike? Seriously, Ethan, that guy's a loser. We can't have him at our wedding." "He's family, Melissa, of course he's coming." "Well, if he comes, I'll uninvite my friend Sarah to make room." "That's ridiculous. We don't need to uninvite anyone, we'll figure it out." Her eyes flashed angrily. "Do you even realize how much this wedding is costing? Maybe if you'd taken that promotion instead of staying on your little coding team, we'd have more flexibility." That one hurt. Melissa knew I turned down the promotion because I loved my current project. Low blow. "Mel, my job isn't the issue here. Isn't it? God, Ethan, when are you going to start thinking about our future?" The fight kept getting louder. I tried to stay calm, but Melissa wasn't backing down. Finally, I snapped. "You know what? Maybe we should just elope, save us both the headache." I didn't see it coming. 1 second, we were yelling, and the next, smack, Melissa's hand connected with my face, the sound echoing in the now silent apartment. We both froze, stunned. My face stung, but my chest hurt even more. "Ethan, I didn't mean to," Melissa said, reaching out. I stepped back. "I need some air." Grabbing my keys, I left. I drove aimlessly until I ended up at Jack's place, still in a daze. Jack took one look at my face and pulled me inside. "Spill it, man, what happened?" I told him everything. He listened quietly, his expression darkening. Buddy, this isn't okay, you know that, right?" I nodded as the reality started sinking in. Over the next few days, I couldn't stop thinking about the past, moments I'd ignored, times Melissa manipulated situations, isolated me from my friends, or made me doubt myself. How had I missed it? My sister Emma showed up, concern written all over her face. Ethan, be honest with me, are you happy? That question hit me hard. Was I? After long talks with Jack and Emma, I knew what I had to do. It wasn't easy, but I couldn't ignore the red flags anymore. When I returned to the apartment, Melissa was in tears. Baby, I'm so sorry, it'll never happen again. We can work through this. I took a deep breath. Melissa, I can't do this anymore. The wedding, it's over. Her face twisted with anger. You can't be serious, after everything we've built? I'm sorry, I said quietly. She cut me off, shouting, if you do this, I'll make sure everyone knows what a commitment phobe you are. I'll ruin you, Ethan. I placed the ring on the table as she continued her threats, but for the first time in months, I felt like I could breathe. Walking out that door was the hardest, and best, decision I'd ever made. The aftermath was like a tsunami. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Some people were supportive, but others weren't so kind. How could you do this to Melissa? My cousin Sarah ranted over the phone. She's devastated. I tried to explain, but she wasn't listening. Save it. I always knew you were afraid of commitment. She hung up on me, and I slumped onto the couch. Jack walked in and tossed me a beer. Rough call? You have no idea. I sighed. It's like Melissa's got everyone convinced I'm the bad guy. Jack shook his head. Give it time, man, the truth will come out. But time wasn't on my side. At work, I could feel the whispers. People stared as I walked by. One day, my team lead, Dave, pulled me aside. Everything okay, Ethan? You've seemed distracted lately. I forced a smile. Just personal stuff. It won't affect my work, I promise. Dave nodded, but I could tell he wasn't convinced. Later, I overheard him talking to HR about concerns regarding my emotional stability. Through it all, Emma was my rock. She showed up one night, arms full of groceries. All right, big bro, we're having a cooking therapy session. Chop these onions and spill your guts. As we cooked together, it felt like, for the first time in weeks, I could let some of the weight off my shoulders. I let it all out, the guilt, the anger, the fear. Emma listened quietly and then said, you know what? Screw them. Anyone who believes Melissa's lies isn't worth your time anyway. Her words hit home. I realized I needed to stop wallowing and start living again. The next day, I dug out my old guitar from the back of the closet. The strings were rusty, and my fingers were clumsy, but it felt good to play again. I also bit the bullet and made an appointment with a therapist. Dr. Ramirez was patient during our first session. Ethan, healing isn't linear, she said gently. There will be good days and bad days. The important thing is that you're here, taking steps forward. Those words became my mantra. I threw myself into a new project at work, started going to the gym again, and even signed up for a local coding boot camp to sharpen my skills. One evening, I attended a tech meetup and ran into my old college friend Ryan, the one Melissa always hated. Ethan, long time, no see, man, I heard about the wedding. You okay? I braced myself for judgment, but Ryan surprised me. Look, I never wanted to say anything, but Melissa always gave me the creeps. She was way too controlling, you know? We grabbed a beer and caught up, just like old times, talking tech, laughing, and forgetting the past for a while. As we left, Ryan said something that stuck with me. You seem different, Ethan, lighter, somehow, it suits you. Meanwhile, Melissa's perfect image was starting to crack. My friend Alex, who works at her company, spilled the details over coffee. Dude, she's losing it, snapping at interns, missing deadlines. Everyone's walking on eggshells around her. I felt a strange mix of vindication and pity. That sounds rough. Alex leaned in, lowering his voice. Between you and me, there are rumors she's on thin ice with the higher-ups. Karma's well, you know. As weeks turned into months, things started to shift. People who had ghosted me began reaching out, apologizing for jumping to conclusions. Even my cousin Sarah called me. Hey, Ethan, I might have been a little too harsh, she admitted sheepishly. One night, as I was scrolling through social media, I came across a photo of Melissa at a work event. She was smiling, but something about it looked off. Her smile seemed forced, her eyes hollow. For a moment, I felt a pang of sadness. I felt a pang of sadness for what could have been. Then I remembered Dr. Ramirez's words about healing not being linear. I closed the app, set my phone aside, and picked up my guitar. As I strummed the opening chords to an old favorite song, a thought hit me. For the first time in a long while, I was genuinely looking forward to tomorrow. 6 months flew by in a whirlwind of coding and self-discovery. I was knee-deep in a revolutionary AI project when my boss dropped a bombshell. "Ethan, we want you to lead the team on this. You've earned it." I was floored. "Seriously? Wow. Thank you." Riding that high, I headed to TechCon 2024, a major tech conference. That's where I literally bumped into Olivia. I spilled coffee all over her laptop bag. "Oh God, I'm so sorry," I stammered, completely mortified. She just laughed it off. "No worries, I needed an excuse to upgrade anyway." We got talking, and it turned out Olivia was a UX designer working on AI integration projects, too. Her insights were mind-blowing. "Ever consider combining that with augmented reality?" she asked, sketching an idea on a napkin. Hours flew by as we brainstormed together. It was so easy, no pressure, no judgment, just two nerds geeking out over tech. As the conference wrapped up, I took a leap. "Want to grab dinner sometime? Strictly professional, of course," I added quickly. Olivia smirked. "How about we start with coffee?" 1 year later, I wasn't just drinking coffee, I was dating Olivia. She was refreshing, kind, and respected my boundaries. When I eventually opened up about Melissa, she squeezed my hand and said, "Thank you for trusting me with that." Meanwhile, karma caught up with Melissa. Alex called me one day, his voice a mix of shock and awe. "Ethan, you won't believe this, Melissa's been cooking the books, inflating client numbers, she's fired, and there's talk of legal action." I felt a swirl of emotions: shock, vindication, even a bit of pity, but mostly relief. It was finally over. To celebrate my new position, Jack and Emma insisted on throwing a party. Olivia fit right in, trading playful quips with Jack and swapping fashion tips with Emma. As we toasted, Jack pulled me aside. "You did good, bro. I'm proud of you." Emma chimed in, "Yeah, who knew my big brother would land such a catch? Don't screw it up this time." I laughed, watching Olivia chat animatedly with my friends. "Trust me," I said with a smile. I learned my lesson. Later that night, Olivia and I went for a walk. "You know," she said, when we met, "I was fresh out of a bad breakup, too. I never thought I'd trust anyone again." I squeezed her hand. "Funny how life works out, huh?" Looking back, I realized how far I'd come, from the guy who almost married the wrong person to someone who finally knew his worth. The road wasn't easy, but man, was it worth it. As Olivia and I strolled under the Seattle stars, I felt something I hadn't felt in a long time: hope. The future was bright, and for once, I was excited to see where it might lead. And that's a wrap on Ethan's journey, folks. Now I've got a question for you. If you were in my shoes, would you have forgiven Melissa after she slapped me, or was ending the relationship the right call? It's a tough one, isn't it? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm dying to hear what you think. And hey, if you enjoyed this roller coaster of a story, hit that like button and subscribe. There's plenty more where this came from, and trust me, you won't want to miss our next wild ride.